But it was real, and the father was none other than Jun Jungkook, her CEO, the man who had crossed all boundaries one night after an argument that had spiraled into something they both couldn't explain. She entered his glass office, her heart racing. Jungkook didn't even look up from his desk when she said softly, "We need to talk." He simply raised an eyebrow, signing papers. "Jungkook, make it quick. I have a board meeting." "When?" she said, her voice steady but trembling inside. The pain stopped mid-signature. The silence that followed was colder than the marble beneath her heels. Jungkook looked up, eyes sharp, unreadable. "You will get rid of it." Her breath caught. "What?" "Jungkook, you heard me. You will today." "When?" "Jungkook." "Mr. Jun," he corrected. "You know what last night was? I wouldn't let a mistake run my life or this company." Tears burned behind her eyes, but ice pride stopped them from falling. "When? A mistake? Then maybe your mistake deserves a name, because I wouldn't." Because she could finish. He grabbed her wrist. "Jungkook, you will, or I will make sure you will lose everything." And yet, even through the fear, something inside her refused to bend. He drove her there himself. The tent car window reflected the tension between them, silence sharp enough to slice air. When they reached the hospital, she froze outside the white doors. "When?" "Jungkook, please." "Jungkook, enough Ryan. Get this done." "When? You think this will fix your guilt?" He ignored her and went inside to talk to the doctor. But when she came back, his mother, Mrs. Jeon, was standing in the hallway. "Mrs. Jeon, Jungkook, why are you here? Why does this girl look so pale?" "Jungkook, nothing, mom. She is my employee. She is..." "Mrs. Jeon, you are expecting, aren't you?" Wan looked down, unable to speak. "Jungkook, are you trying to make her your child?" "Jungkook, mom, it's not." "Mrs. Jeon, enough. Do you even realize what are you doing? That child carry your blood. How heartless you have become." For the first time, Jungkook fluttered. His mother's word pierced through the wall he'd built. Mrs. Jeon turned to Van gently. "Mrs. Jeon, come with me, dear. You don't have to do anything you don't want to." She laid Van's head like a mother letting her away. Van's tear finally broke free, not from fear this time, but relief. Jungkook stood in his dark penthouse, staring at the city, his chest burned with something unfamiliar, regret. Every word he do throw at her replays in his mind like a curse. His phone buzzed. It was his mother's message. "She is safe. I took her home, and if you still have a heart, you will apologize." before you lose the only real thing you have ever had. He closed his eyes, and for once, Jungkook, the man who controlled everything, felt and literally helpless. When he walked into the office, Wan weren't at her desk. Her chair was empty, her nameplate gone. On her desk, he found a sealed envelope, her handwriting. You broke something inside me that night, Jungkook, but you also made me stronger. I'm keeping the baby, and I'm keeping my pride. Don't look for me. I want my child to know peace, not power. For the first time, Jungkook sat down, not as CEO, but as a man who had finally lost something he could never buy back. And outside his window, the city lights burned like tears he refused to show. The boardroom of Chen Corporation buzzed with murmurs. Jungkook sat on the head of the table, looking very bit of the CEO, flawless suit, sharp gaze, but something had changed. The arrogance that once filled his eyes was replaced by emptiness. His assistant entered quietly. Sir, your mother called. She said it's urgent. He nodded, dismissing the room within minutes. He was in his mother's mansion yesterday, holding his phone, half worried, half tired. But when he entered the living room, he froze. Across the room, Van stood. Her face was calm, grateful for Radigan. Then he remembered, and in her arms, a baby. The small butter stirred, making a soft sound, and Jungkook's voice trembled. His throat tightened, his heart, the one he thought had turned to stone. Decision. You need to see what you try to destroy. Jungkook's lips parted, but one knew what comes. He took a small step. Jungkook, when Mrs. John invited me, I didn't come for you. Her voice was calm, yet every word hit like him harder than any occasions. The countryside house was small, but it was hers. One Bucket reverently continued designing marketing campaigns for small companies and lived peacefully. She named him Eun, meaning grace, because despite everything she believed that even pain could be grateful when carried with strength. Mrs. John had secretly helped her through her visiting, often bring food and warmth. She never told Jungkook until the baby was born. Jungkook, I didn't know. When? No, you didn't want to know. He lowered his head for the first time in his life. Chun Jungkook, the man who could command room with a word, stood there completely powerless. Mrs. Do you even realize what you put her through? Jungkook, do you want to raise your own child? He looked at the baby, tiny fingers curled into her white blanket, and his chest burned with guilt. Is he your son? But that doesn't make you his father. Jungkook, can I hold him? She hesitated, then finally nodded. When Jungkook took the baby in his arms, his eyes softened instantly. Hyun opened his eyes, big, innocent, and warm brown, just like hers. Jungkook, he looks like you. Man, that's the best thing that could have happened to him. Mrs. John turned away, tearing in her eyes. Jungkook looked at her, fine words trembling on his lips. Jungkook, I'm sorry for everything. I was scared of losing control of emotions I didn't understand, but the days you left, I realized I'd already lost everything. You don't owe me forgiveness, Jungkook said quietly. I just wanted to know I'm not the same person anymore. When you change because guilt forced you to, Jungkook, not because love did. Jungkook, then give me a chance to prove it's love now. When love isn't something you prove, it's something you protect, and you failed at that. Before he could speak again, the baby wept. She adjusted the blanket and whispered to her son. Let's go home, Yun. He stood there watching as she left, the sound of her footsteps echoing in the driveway, taking his last piece of peace with her.